WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you so much for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. What a beautiful morning it is. Tuesday morning. If you'd like to watch the show and just look at me standing here as I age slowly, incrementally, you can watch on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page. There's the video. So in the news, I'm sure you've heard the Republicans and their health care plans just cannot do whatever it is. There's just no agreement among people that call themselves Republicans when it comes to dealing with health care in the country. So Mitch McConnell, there's a report that he wants to come up with some legislation that would get rid of Obamacare. It would be a repeal, not a replacement, not a fix, but a repeal. But it would take 2 years to go into effect. So it would be, you'd be repealing it and kind of like setting a timer or lighting a fuse, depending on whatever way you want to look at it. And then set up that deadline where something would have to be done or not by the time it was completely repealed in 2 years. But after years of discussion, it's been many, many years of people fighting over this issue and pontificating about what's wrong with health care in the country, and some people not having access, other people paying too much, premiums going up. Still can't get it together. Still can't get it together. Understand, I heard Fox say that the president is tweeting about this situation this morning. Thank goodness that the president is well, he tweeted 9 hours ago. The president tweeted Republicans should just repeal failing Obamacare now and work on a new health care plan that will start from a clean slate. Dems will join in. We'll see. But that was 9 hours ago from the president. But will Dems join in? I don't know that what's their incentive to join in? If people now feel, there are a lot of people in the country that feel like they are owed health care because they've been given health care. And they'll perceive it that it has been taken away from them. So what would be the incentive of the Democrats to join in on this? I don't know that there would be. But the president, of course, is smarter than me. I'm sure he's figured this all out. But that's where we are. Maybe the Senate can go on break after all now. We have traffic and weather smashed together, and then more Uncle Henry Show in just a moment.
Saver traffic from the Dean McCrary Audi Traffic Center.
It just wouldn't be morning drive without some showers to dodge, and we do have some spots, fairly heavy rain starting to move up from the Gulf once again this morning. If you're traveling through the western part of Mobile County around the Grand Bay area and off to the east around Pensacola, all of that starting to see a little heavier rain activity move through the area. So be aware of that as you head out the door very early this morning. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the Foundation for a Better Life.
Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor?
Hi, neighbor.
Mr. Rogers passed along friendship, hoping we would too. Friendship, pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
We are turning up our rain action on this Tuesday to 60%. Keep the umbrella close. It will be steamy, and we will have the flare-up of storms. Overnight tonight will drop into the 70s, and for your Wednesday, a 40% chance of storms, a high of 90, less rain, and more heat late week. I'm Local 15's Kelly Foster for this iHeartRadio station.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation.
Hey everybody, I'm Eric Church, asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the T.J. Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
You're home for Rush every weekday at 11. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. We have Santa Claus on the phone. Santa Claus, good morning.
Good morning, good morning. You know, there's a real simple solution to all this healthcare garbage.
What's that?
Go back to charity hospitals. That way, no matter how much money you have or don't have, you go in and show you can't afford it, you get fixed.
All right, well, Santa Claus, thank you. I hope the Easter Bunny is next on the pro. No, it's Freddie. Freddie, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, Uncle Henry. A little excitement to give you. I've told every year I'd like to bring a little joy to your show. But I've been trying to analyze this thing worldly, and came to the conclusion that we put a man in. He told the people that voted for him that he was going to take his country back. So he's have received the country back, and he brought his grown folks with him. He brought his daughter, his son-in-law, and her husband, and they gave them high-class security, and they can go anywhere in the world and do anything they want to because they have that message. But they say now they got a draft that said they want to get rid of the son-in-law, take his clearance away from him so he can negotiate with anybody. The Senate Republicans this morning, Dr. Henry, you hadn't heard it, they dropped that repeal of Obamacare completely because two more senators.
Right. I have been talking about that. In fact, I was talking about that in the last segment of the show, yes.
Yes, but they said they would not support the bill that was presented to them, so they're not going to repeal nor replace. They're going to let it legal out there. They're not going to be a part of it. Because in 2 more years, Uncle Henry, with the state of Alabama putting a Democrat in that Senate seat, and other states putting Democrat, the Republicans are going to be on the limb, Uncle Henry. Why? Because the school system in Baldwin County, some nuts said, let's put the books in there by all conservative writers. If you watch the New York Times bestseller letter, Mark Levin, everybody in the top 10 is conservative writers. Somebody is buying those books and stockpiling them, Uncle Henry, to try to change the culture in America. Don't you fall for it. Read some readings that somebody could tell you. I tell you the good book you can read the Bible, Uncle Henry.
Well, that's a wonderful suggestion.
And I'm doing that right now. If you see it, it was some hard times, Uncle Henry.
Why don't you call in with some Bible verses?
I can tell you some.
We'd love it. I'm sure the listener would love it if you would read some Bible verses to us.
Well, I don't have to read it. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Have a good day out there.
All right. Thank you, Freddie. Now, see, Freddie, if you start for many years, many years, Freddie's calls have been somewhat controversial, as some people are very sensitive. I know that's a shock that there are sensitive people, but some people are sensitive and they get upset with Freddie's comments. Freddie, if you just threw in Bible verses at the end or beginning of every call, I'm sure that would calm the waters. There is more to come, of course. The Uncle Henry Show continues. Please stick with the program as long as you can so that we can continue to be employed. Here we are on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. Let me look and see who we have here. Bama Big Man, Sharon, Brenton Odom, the talented boat maker B. Graves, John Hollingsworth, Mr. H. of West Loxley, Diane March, James Eubanks, Diane March of Dauphin Island, Alabama. So, Diane, what about all this flesh-eating bacteria? Do you now, is Mobile, when you're there on Dauphin Island, or do you feel surrounded by bacteria, or do you care? All right, I'm getting texted by Darwin, so bear with me. All right. I must respond to him. No problem, Darwin. All right, I'm not bragging. I know you're thinking that I'm bragging that Darwin is texting me during the commercial breaks on NBC 15. All right, let's see. What else is going on here? I saw that there's a tropical storm. Tropical Storm Don. I'm not worried about that yet. I feel the same way about the Tropical Storm Don that I feel about the upcoming Senate race. I'm going to wait until I'm in the cone before I really pay close attention. Once I'm in the cone, then I'm going to pay attention to the tropical storm and the Senate race in Alabama. I was wondering, is it good policy or bad policy for me not to be diving deeply into the Senate race? And I realize it's good policy that I did not dive deeply into it, because already people are dropping out. And I didn't have to, so I've already saved myself the trouble of learning about those people. They've already dropped out. So I'm going to give it another week, and hopefully more people will drop out before I have to pay close attention to the Alabama Senate race. We had some guy dropped out before I knew who he was. In fact, two of them, I think yesterday, the news was out that two of them dropped out. All right, what else can we get into? I'm looking. The president has not yet tweeted again. So he tweeted 9 hours ago, so he'll be tweeting any minute now. Speaking of the president, the Trump administration being sued by the Ocean Conservancy and the Environmental Defense Fund because they expanded red snapper season. The two environmental groups are claiming that by expanding red snapper season, this hurts the red snapper. Now, how are you going to prove that? That's the one thing I wonder how you can prove. Because we have anecdotal evidence that there are a lot of red snapper. I know that. And how do you measure the number of red snapper? Scientific. I don't know how you do that. But there is a lawsuit. All right, stand by. We're going to go back to radio right after the weather.
Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by the T.J. Martell Foundation. Join the T.J. Martell Foundation in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn more.
Now, Gulf Coast weather from Local 15.
Good Tuesday to you, everybody. We've got about a 60% chance of storms today, so more flare-ups during the peak heating of the day. Our high today, 89 degrees, lows tonight in the 70s. We'll hit 90 for Wednesday with the 40% chance of storms. We will see those temperatures climb late week and the rain threat go down. I'm Local 15's Kelly Foster for this iHeartRadio station.
We love Nick Saban. Just wanted to get that out of the way. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. News headlines coming up in 10 minutes from Fox and from WKR, from Local 15's Darwin. I'll get it straight in a couple of years. Darwin is with us from Local 15, and we'll have that coming up in 10 minutes. Let's see. I'm getting email both about Governor Dr. Bentley and the Freddie call. Let me go to the email analyzing Freddie's phone call. In the last segment, Freddie called in. Subject line on the email is Freddie call translated. Email reads, blah, 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 read your Bible. And that email from 60-year-old Chris in West Loxley. Chris, thank you for your translation of the Freddie call. Freddie has told me off the air that he does enjoy emails analyzing his phone calls. So you have made his day with your analysis. Now, I've got an email about Governor Dr. Bentley because Governor Dr. Bentley is in the news again. This time, WBRC in wherever they are went and found Dr. Bentley a few days ago and talked to him in the parking lot of his dermatology clinic in Tuscaloosa. And you'll be very glad to know that Governor Dr. Bentley is having a wonderful time. He is really enjoying life.
I'm the most recognized person in the state of Alabama. I was in Birmingham yesterday. Everywhere I would go yesterday, you'd hear people yelling, "There's the governor, there's the governor." People all wanted their picture made. People have been just fantastic. People have been really sweet to me.
So people are saying, "There's the governor, there's the governor." I have an email on this. Subject line on the email is Love Gov. Email reads, "Terrific Tuesday to you, Henry. Boy, that Love Gov is something else. I'll bet narcissists would hear that and say, now there's someone who really loves himself. Sad. Have a beautiful day." In that email from the Common Man. Common Man, thank you for your email about the happiness of Governor Dr. Bentley. And again, part of these comments, now the part where he says he's the most recognizable man in Alabama, we've already had Chris of Loxley point out that Nick Saban, that has to be Nick Saban. Governor Dr. Bentley would have to be way down the list after Nick Saban, Gene Stallings, and many other figures in the state of Alabama. But the comment about people yelling out, "There's the governor, there's the governor," I find that to be, let me hear that again.
Most recognized person in the state of Alabama. I was in Birmingham yesterday. Everywhere I would go yesterday, you'd hear people yelling, "There's the governor, there's the governor."
You would hear people yelling. So they weren't just standing there with him. He would hear people yelling, "There's the governor, there's the governor." Now, was it happy like, "Hey, there's the governor, there's the governor"? Or was it like, "There's the governor. There he is, there's the governor"? I wonder what it was like. I wonder how would you characterize the yelling? Have you ever yelled when you've seen a governor? If I saw Kate Ivory, let's say I'm trying to think of where would I be, because I don't like going places. It's hard for me to imagine myself in public because I don't like going anywhere. Let's say I'm on the side of Cottage Hill Road picking up cans. People have thrown cans out of their car, and I'm picking up cans so that I can take them to recycling. And I see across Cottage Hill Governor Kate Ivory. I don't think I would yell, "There's the governor. There's the governor." I just don't think I would do that, even if she was wearing her beautiful white pantsuit. Well, or Governor Dr. Benton. That's just me, though. I'm not that type. I only yell when I'm in the confines of this studio and I'm defending my family from attacks. But bottom line, to end the discussion, common man, whether narcissists would make an observation or not, what we can draw from this is the former governor, we don't have to worry about him. He is psychologically fine. He is happy. He is moving forward in life, and he doesn't have to be governor to be satisfied in life. He's satisfied being the former governor and current skin inspector in Tuscaloosa. As long as he still has the status of being a doctor and a skin inspector. And that's all he needs. He sounds like everything is okay. So we can move forward in all of our lives and turn away from him, I hope, and not have to discuss him ever again. All right, we have news coming up from, as I mentioned, Darwin of Local 15. Also, Fox, traffic and weather and all of that. It's on the way as we move forward on the Uncle Henry Show.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Johnson & Johnson.
And good morning, Facebook. Before you go, you, the Facebook viewer, just let me say good morning to you. Roger Bird, Eric Marrero, Lisa Hill McGee. Diane March of Dauphin Island has expressed that she's not afraid of the Vibrio vulnificus because she knows better than to get into our local waters with flesh wounds, gaping flesh wounds. I mentioned this yesterday. The health department, Mobile County Health Department, does not use the phrase flesh-eating bacteria. They don't. That's not something they're fond of, the phrase flesh-eating bacteria. So look, we're in a break for the radio show. In a moment, I'm going to listen to the news because I need to kind of know what's something I can talk about. So I will be listening to the news here in a moment once we get into it. And also traffic and weather, and then I'll be back here on Facebook to discuss life with you. Let's see, I'm continuously following, so far, no new tweets from the president. There are some stories I have not brought up yet on the show that we'll be getting into, including yet more scientific studies of artificial sweeteners. And I'll say this before I get into all of that on the air. At this point, it's too late for me, whatever they find out about artificial sweeteners. I'm too much into it. I was there during the era of Tab. Do you remember Tab? They still make it. I was one of the early adopters of Tab, and I learned, I taught myself to like it. Of course, I don't have it anymore because I don't have to have it. But whatever they find out about artificial sweeteners, it's too late for me. I'm already invested mentally into it, and I can't pull out of it at this point. But it's not too late for you and your children. We'll get into all of that. But right now, I want to hear weather. Right now, news is coming up from Darwin and also Fox. So I'll be back in a few minutes.
less rain late week. I'm Local 15's Kelly Foster for this iHeartRadio station.
Wake up and get your tickets to OWA. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton with this iHeartRadio News Update. Tickets to OWA's amusement park are scheduled to go on sale online this morning. The amusement park is set to have its grand opening this Friday at 10 a.m. The park has 21 rides as well as an arcade, open dining, and a shopping area. You can head to visitowa.com for online ticket purchases, and we've also posted that link to purchase tickets under the Find It section of our website, local15tv.com. Students at Mobile's Fondy Elementary are going back to school this week before everyone else because the school is premiering the system's first year-round schooling schedule. Right now, Fondy is the only school in Mobile County to offer class year-round. But officials with the Mobile County School Board say if the students test well, other schools might follow Fondy's lead. The rest of Mobile County Public Schools head back to class August 8th. Tropical Storm Cindy causing major delays in the water line repairs along the causeway, even though the storm is gone. Officials with the Mobile Area Water and Sewer System estimate it may be mid-August at the earliest before permanent repairs are made. An iron pipe will replace the plastic pipe that broke on New Year's Day, leaving some Spanish Fort customers and restaurants along the causeway without water. A temporary above-ground bypass line is currently providing water to those areas. News breaks while you sleep, so when you wake, we'll catch you up on what's happening along the Gulf Coast and around the world every weekday morning on Local 15 Today. We start at 5 a.m. I hope you'll join us. I'm Local 15's Darwin Singleton for this iHeartRadio station.
Fox News Radio, I'm Millian Wu. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell pulls the plug on the GOP health care plan to repeal and replace Obamacare.
Two GOP senators, Mike Lee of Utah and Jerry Moran of Kansas, unable to support even the vote to begin debate on this current bill. Senator Lee announcing on Twitter, quote, my colleague at Jerry Moran and I will not support the MTP to support this version of the BCRA #healthcare bill.
Fox's Griff Jenkins.
Lee continued in a statement that in addition to not repealing all of the Obamacare taxes, the bill didn't go far enough in lowering premiums.
The president on Twitter calling for a repeal of the, quote, failing Obamacare now and work on a new health care plan that'll start from a clean slate, adding Dems will join in. The White House informing Congress it will uphold the Iran nuclear deal for the time being, but will increase pressure on Tehran for breaching, quote, the spirit of the deal. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Let me surprise you with an interesting fact. You ready? Of all the media options today, AM/FM radio reaches the most people each week. Yeah, you heard me right. Radio is the leader, AM/FM. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio every week. That's bigger than TV, newspapers, even Google and Facebook. If you're a marketer and you need to improve your plans, remember, radio.
Hey, if you're looking for a chiropractor, let me introduce you to the doctors at Mobile Chiropractic Associates. I'm Uncle Henry, and I'm seeing Dr. Call. He's helping me with my neck pain and my elbow pain. Mobile Chiropractic Associates is located on Downtowner Boulevard, and along with Dr. Call, you've got Dr. Dixon and Dr. Henry. They've got a practice for the entire family, for people of all ages. If you've got back pain, neck pain like me, sports injuries, work injuries, problems from a car accident, see the people at Mobile Chiropractic Associates. They've got a friendly, professional staff. In fact, the great customer service started for me when I made my first phone call to get an appointment. Most insurances are accepted. They do all the paperwork. Call them at 251-341-1211. That's 251-341-1211. Look for them on Facebook or visit them online at chiroassociates.com. That's Mobile Chiropractic Associates.
You don't want to mess with the IRS. They have the power to garnish your paycheck, levy your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. That's all true. But thankfully, they're offering a way out. The Fresh Start Initiative. If you qualify, it could save you thousands. The experts at Optima Tax Relief will fight to get you the best possible tax settlement. And they have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau to prove it. Call Optima for your free consultation.
Call 800-960-1575. 800-960-1575.
A truck driver searches across America for her wife, who she had long assumed was dead.
I want to start by saying that this is not a story. It's a road trip.
Alice Isn't Dead, a new serial fiction podcast from the team behind the hit podcast Welcome to Night Vale.
same difference. In a good one, the start is exciting and the finish is satisfying, and we end up a long way from where we started.
Find it today on iHeartRadio.
This morning at 9, Ask the Expert. Then Rush at 11. Right now, it's Uncle Henry on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show. Email address unclehenry@gmail.com. That's unclehenry@gmail.com. You can watch. We do have video available on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page. Yet another study or series of studies published yesterday about artificial sweeteners, with the scientists concluding that there's no solid evidence that artificial sweeteners can help you manage your weight. And observational data suggest that people who regularly use artificial sweeteners are more likely to develop future health problems, but the studies can't link the health problems to the sweeteners. Now this, and I'm sure you're going to hear a lot about this as we move forward, because everybody has opinions on our artificial sweeteners. Some people just paranoid about them. But the idea that they don't help you manage your weight, I think people that struggle with their weight understand this. Though this is, if you're a skinny person or if you've never had a weight problem, let me explain to you how overweight people use. As somebody that struggled with my weight, let me explain how these artificial sweeteners are used. We use the artificial sweeteners so that we can eat so we can save those calories and eat them somewhere else. We're still going to eat a lot of calories. We're just, instead of having it as a sweetener in a beverage, we're going to have those calories in some other food. We're just banking the calories. It has the idea of a diet drink helping somebody lose weight. I don't know that that's ever worked. No, I'm not having the calories in my beverage. That means I can have the calories on something else. So, no, diet drinks, they need to come up with a different name for them, because I just have never thought they helped people diet. And the idea that people who regularly consume those artificial sweeteners develop future health problems, it may have a lot more to do with their overall eating habits and not the actual sweeteners themselves. That somebody that feels like they need artificial sweeteners is eating in a different way anyway. We have traffic and weather together, and then more Uncle Henry Show.
Traffic from the Main Street Flooring and Design Traffic Center.
Spotty rain continues to move through the area, but we aren't seeing any major problems for I-10 drivers crossing the Bayway or the Escambia Bay Bridge in Pensacola. Road work in Mobile continues on Leroy Stevens, which is closed between Watercourt and Carrington Drive. This is for roadway upgrades expected to run through the early fall. With Time Saver Traffic, I'm Ray Romero.
This report is brought to you by Unbound. Around the world, there are young people who face a difficult decision: continue their dream of education or drop out to help support their families. In a single moment, you can help them write a new story. See potential, not poverty, at unbound.org.
Now, Gulf Coast weather from Local 15.
We are turning up our rain action on this Tuesday to 60%. Keep the umbrella close. It will be steamy, and we will have the flare-up of storms. Overnight tonight will drop into the 70s, and for your Wednesday, a 40% chance of storms, a high of 90, less rain, and more heat late week. I'm Local 15's Kelly Foster for this iHeartRadio station.
This report is brought to you by Compassion International. Every child is born with talents, hopes, and dreams, but poverty will steal those dreams. You can help a child find hope when you become their sponsor with Compassion International. Give a child a chance to dream again. Find out how at compassion.com/radio.
Roll Tide. This is the Uncle Henry Show on News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show, thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM. 99.5 FM, The Jag. Coming up in 10 minutes, Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio national correspondent, fresh off his exciting interview with Kay Ivey. We'll ask him about what's going on with the health care, the non-repeal, or whatever is going on with health care, since the Republicans can't seem to figure out what they want to do. So we'll ask him about that, and also, unfortunately, more from the Senate in the Russia controversy. So we'll get to him in about 10 minutes here on the Uncle Henry Show. In the last segment of the show, I was just mentioning these new studies out yesterday that you'll be hearing a lot about artificial sweetener. On Facebook, on the News Radio 710 WNTM Facebook page, people were jumping in to sing the praises of Fresca. Lisa Hill McGee and Roger Bird. Yes, Fresca, I still drink Fresca. I do drink artificially sweetened beverages. Good or not? Are they good for me or not? It's too late. It's too late. Because I'm all in. And I do drink products like Fresca because I feel like if I don't waste the calories on the Fresca, that means I can have additional slices of bacon and other higher calorie products. So that's how it works. That's how people like me think. That's why we still buy diet drinks. Yes, I'm not getting a calorie from my Fresca, and that means that I can have additional bacon. And probably doesn't work medically, but that's the way my brain works. And I'm sure the brain of many other people like me that are of low intelligence and are trying to watch our weight. They still sell Tab. You could probably use, well, never mind. I was about to say something derogatory about Tab, and I know that will upset some people. Speaking of food and big business, I did see the story. You've heard of the company maybe called Blue Apron, that is a mail order internet company where you order a meal kit. They send you a kit in the mail for you to make a meal. And it's allegedly delicious. I've never had Blue Apron. Amazon wants to get in that business. And they've made some move to get into meal kits. And when Amazon made that announcement, Blue Apron stock plummeted something like 30%. Anytime Amazon decides it wants to do what you do, it causes major shockwaves in whatever it is you do. People are still talking about them buying Whole Foods. And so something like a meal kit, a major drop in stock for Blue Apron. Whatever it is you do, I guess you need to hope that Amazon doesn't think they can make money doing what you do. All right, coming up after the break, we'll get traffic and weather, and we're going to check in with Joe Gomez about the current situation with health care and what's brewing in the Senate with the Russia deal.
While they were watching
Obama spying on Americans.
You were listening. Keep on listening.
It's so sick.
Sean Hannity, 2 till 5. News Radio 710, WNTM.
Take care of your skin. See Dr. Thomas Bender at Advanced Dermatology and Skincare Center. Dr. Bender sees patients in Mobile, Daphne, and more online at advanceddermclinic.com.
No representation is made. The legal services performed are greater than the quality of legal services of others.
Bill Brooks here in the iHeartRadio studios with attorney David J. Maloney. How have you been, David?
Welcome back to the Uncle Henry Show. On Facebook, good morning to Bishop T.D. Morris. Bishop Morris, who writes that he doesn't know where he can purchase Fresca and Tab. I see Fresca in Walmart Neighborhood Market. I see Fresca in some of the Greers. I see Fresca in Publix. I see Fresca more often than I don't. Now, Tab, I don't see it as often, but I still see it. But Fresca's out there, but they don't stock a lot of it. In fact, if you're going down the row of all the different 12 packs of cans, and it's usually in can form, not 2-liter, there'll only be like one little stack of it. So you have to have your eye peeled for it. And Bama Big Man writes on Facebook that he likes a triple meat Whataburger meal supersized with a small Diet Coke. See, that's the way we think, isn't it, Bama Big Man? That if we have a Diet Coke, then we can have a triple meat Whataburger because we've transferred the calories from the drink to the sandwich. And I know that's not logical, but that's how people like me think. By the way, this is not a commercial for Whataburger, but still one of the top affordable burgers in the land of fast food. Still one of the top affordable burgers. In fact, I almost fainted thinking of it. Almost swooned thinking about the Whataburger. All right, let's see. Still waiting for Joe Gomez to check in with us. I don't know what he'll be able to reveal to us about what's going on with Mitch McConnell and all of that. But I will be asking, I'm going to try not to bring up the Kay Ivey interview from yesterday. If you want to hear his interview with Kay Ivey, go to the Uncle Henry page at newsradio710.com. I've got a link. It's about 9 minutes, a little less than 9 minutes, that Joe Gomez sat with Governor Kay Ivey. She talked about apps and how we have 4,700 apps, or 4,700 jobs open in Alabama for app design. Then he asked her what her favorite app was, and she mentioned a website. And it made me wonder, does she know what an app is? Now, it may be that website has an app, but I'm not sure if she had. I don't know if she talked about apps, and I don't know if she actually knows what an app is. Nothing wrong with that, because why does she need to know? She's got people that she pays to know what an app is. All right, stand by. We're going to wait for Joe Gomez to call as we listen to Kelly Foster.
Asking you to join me in the fight against leukemia, cancer, and AIDS through the TJ Martell Foundation. Your support helps facilitate cutting-edge research that will lead to more effective treatments and save more lives. Visit tjmartell.org to learn about music's promise for a cure.
Gulf Coast weather from Local 15 and the Kemco Metal Buildings Weather Center.
Good Tuesday to you, everybody. We've got about a 60% chance of storms today, so more flare-ups during the peak heating of the day. Our high today, 89 degrees, lows tonight in the 70s. We'll hit 90 for Wednesday with the 40% chance of storms. We will see those temperatures climb late week and the rain threat go down. I'm Local 15's Kelly Foster for this iHeartRadio station.
Your home for traffic and weather on the 9s every morning. This is News Radio 710 WNTM.
Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening to the Uncle Henry Show here on News Radio 710 WNTM 99.5 FM The Jag. Welcoming back to the Uncle Henry Show, Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio national correspondent. Joe, good morning.
Good morning.
People still buzzing over your interview with Kay Ivey here in Alabama. Right. Still, I've been analyzing the interview, trying to understand. I don't know if I'm not sure if Kay Ivey knows what an app is, even though she talked about app jobs with you. But that's neither here nor there. Joe Gomez, what is the deal with Mitch McConnell and repeal of Obamacare? Where are we now on that?
Well, right now it sounds like Obamacare is here to stay, I think, for the short term and maybe for the long term, or at least 2 years anyways, because there was two more Republican senators that came out last night, and they said they were not going to vote for this bill to repeal and replace Obamacare. So that means now that bill is dead on arrival. There's not going to be any further attempts, according to the Senate leadership, to try to both repeal and replace Obamacare. What Mitch McConnell is now going to do is try to go with a strict repeal of Obamacare and see if that works. And I guess this was a bill that passed in 2015 and eventually was vetoed by President Obama. But this bill would also create some kind of a 2-year delay, I guess, until a new replacement for Obamacare could be created. So it basically would make it so Obamacare would be here well past 2018, and it would not be the repeal and replace that Republicans had promised.
Now, I know that the House, they voted over and over again to repeal Obamacare with the knowledge that the president who was in office, President Obama, would not sign it. And it makes me wonder, since you said it was passed in 2015, if people would pass it again, knowing now that somebody would sign it.
And no, that's a great observation. And I think that, a lot of moderate Republicans who supported this bill, especially in the Senate initially, knowing that, they could sign their name onto it, but that it wouldn't be passed, so it was fine. They didn't have the responsibility for the fallout of it. Should the entire insurance marketplace go into a spiral, that they had no problem signing out of the bill. The problem now is that a lot of moderate Senate Republicans who signed for it the last time, who voted for this bill, may be cautious to do so again because they know that President Trump will actually pass the bill and sign it into law, and they would be held responsible for any negative after effects of this legislation. So it's an interesting situation to be in, and we'll see, I guess, if some of those Republicans who voted the one time but are hesitant to vote again are going to be kind of held to do the same thing by other members of their own party.
Yeah, this is where you get to the nitty-gritty and find out what people really think. Because we, as I said, we had a lot of people for years and years saying that they wanted to repeal this, and when they finally had somebody ready to sign a repeal, they suddenly got cold feet. They didn't want to move forward. So interesting times. Hey, do you think are they going to go on break after all? Now that they can't get this deal done, are they going to go on break? I know they had postponed their break before.
Well, yeah, they postponed it with the belief that they'd be able to pass the current bill and get both the repeal and replace of Obamacare done. But now that it's going to be a repeal, and maybe it would be a long bet at that for repeal, and I think there may be some parliamentary procedures where they might actually need 60 votes instead of just 52 to get this thing off the ground. I mean, I don't know. It looks more likely like the Senate is probably going to get their recess after all, and I doubt they're probably going to have to stick around for another 2 weeks if it just looks very bleak and like this isn't going to happen by the end of the summer, let alone the end of the year.
You're listening to Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio national correspondent. And before you go, Joe Gomez, I know that there are still people that are interested in keeping the Russia controversy fully aflame. So is the Senate getting involved in this again? Are we going to have more hearings or anything like that?
Yeah, there's supposed to be some kind of a hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee tomorrow, and that's going to be about the enforcement of the Foreign Agents Registration Act. And this applies to Paul Manafort, who was the campaign chairman of the Trump campaign, because he belatedly registered as a foreign agent. He was working for Russian interest in the Ukraine for a period of time. So I think what they're going to try, they were hopeful to get Paul Manafort to testify before them tomorrow. I don't know that that's going to happen. But I think that they're trying to line up some kind of situation where they're going to have Manafort or Jared Kushner or Trump Jr. Potentially before one of these committees, either this week or next week.
All right, Joe Gomez, while we've been talking, the president just tweeted.
Oh.
President Trump tweets, "We were let down by all of the Democrats and a few Republicans. Most Republicans were loyal, terrific, and worked really hard. We will return."
Well, there you go. It sounds like he's given up. It sounds like basically he's saying that. I mean, I would imagine. I take that to mean that he's giving up on the push for health care.
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like for now, in retreat to return at some later date. All right. Well, Joe Gomez, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Okay, thanks.
There he goes, Joe Gomez, NBC News Radio national correspondent. Yeah, I remember being confused. After President Trump was elected, I knew that the House of Representatives had voted several times to repeal the Affordable Care Act. But when they finally had somebody that was ready to sign it, suddenly they wouldn't vote to repeal the Affordable Care Act. So this will be, if Mitch McConnell pushes for them to pass an outright repeal in the Senate, this is going to be this will at least let you know one way or the other about each senator. All right, news is next. And then more Uncle Henry Show. Thank you for listening.
I met someone. You hear it a lot from people on Match because more people have met their someone on Match than on any other dating app. Everyone wants to find that meaningful connection, and Match is not only #1 in first, but second dates too. Now here's a free offer for our listeners. Go to Match.com/AM for 7 days free. That's 7 days completely free to search, view photos, and connect. This free offer is found at Match.com/AM. That's Match.com/AM. Match.com/AM.
When you need spends a little too much time in the